Hi there Stratters, this is Tobias and this is a deck tech video of my latest brew, Brain Fusion Affinity, and it's a mix of two decks. I saw Brain in the Jar abusing Beck Call on Channel Fireball, but he played a more controlish deck because Brain in the Jar makes a lot of mana. You get, you put a counter on it, get a 1 mana spell, you put a counter on it, get a 2 mana spell, you put a counter on it, get a 3 mana spell, and then you put a counter on it and suddenly you can play a sorcery like Supreme Verdict in the opponent's turn for just 1 mana. So it's good in control builds as well, but I saw combo potential. On Channel Fireball, the card it got combined with is Beck Call, which is responsible for the fuse part of the name, because when you put your second counter on your Brain in a Jar, you can cast an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost 2. Beck is converted mana cost 2, and you can cast it without paying the mana cost, which means you can fuse the card and get the call as well. That means you create 4 bird tokens with flying and draw a card for every bird that enters the battlefield. But more importantly, Beck continues to draw you cards when creatures enter the battlefield for the rest of the turn. And because of this, you play as many 0 mana creatures as you can, which is Memnite and the Ornithopter. And then you are a lot like Affinity, and because of this I also play the Signal Pest and the Mox Opal for fast mana, because you want to put this stunt off turn 3 possibly, if you can. You want to play turn 1 Springleaf Drum or Serum Visions. I don't know why this is here, should be 4 of them. And then you want to have a piece of your fast mana for turn 2. To be able to play a Brain in the Jar on turn 2 and put a counter on it by Mox Opal and Simian Spirit Guide, and then on your turn 3 you can fuse your Beck and Call, and then all you have to find is 0 mana creatures to draw you deeper into the deck, and Hangerback Walker is a 0 mana creature as well. And then after having found lots of creatures that have you drawn cards, you search a Reckless Bushwhacker and attack for a bunch of damage. And the very nice thing about the back part is, and the reason for the many artifacts, you can play Kuldotha Rebirth. You want to play it in the turn where you play your Beck, because then Kuldotha Rebirth suddenly is an Ancestral Recall that gives you 3 1/1 tokens, and that's pretty huge. And the best part is you sacrifice your Brain in a Jar, which is spent, or you sacrifice your Mox Opal, which is spent then. And yeah, I have 2 copies of Haze of Rage, because you do it all in 1 turn, and sometimes it's very good when your creatures get pumped in the front, if you have the mana to do so, but a lot of the times you just need 4 mana. Remember, 1 mana for Brain in the Jar, 2 mana to search your Reckless Bushwhacker, and 2 mana for Haze of Rage. So it's 5 mana, sorry, not 4, it's 5 mana, but it's easy with Springleaf Drum, Mox Opal and Simian Spirit Guide, because you have so many 0 mana creatures. Okay, the 1 copy from Hangerback Walker, sometimes it's a blocker, and if you're mid combo, it just draws you a card for free and adds a storm count. And Empty the Warrens, it's just nice when you can pull it off, which isn't often. These 2 cards are the 2 cards that I usually board out for my sideboard. And my sideboard right now is an interesting one. I got Rest in Peace because you have to have something to beat Dredge, and that's the same reason for the Nihil Spellbomb. I don't want to run 3 Nihil Spellbombs. They are a good combo with the Kuldotha Rebirth, because you can sacrifice it to the Kuldotha Rebirth, but Rest in Peace just is the strong card. And yeah, I want 2 copies of Hercules Recall. Interestingly, I can cast the Hercules Recall to return my own artifacts, because my 0 mana creatures will draw me a card when they enter the battlefield, and I can redraw that card because they cost 0 mana and I can just replay them. so sometimes it's good to cast a Hercules Recall on myself. I want 2 Dispels against the blue control matchup. I want 2 Dismembers against Infect and Death Shadow or whatever. I want 2 Blood Moons against Scapeshift and Tron. Impact Tremors is my card to beat the Ghostly Prison, because then suddenly every creature that enters the battlefield deals damage. Very good. I want 1 Ancient Grudge against random artifact decks. It's good against Affinity. It's good against Lantern Control. I want 1 Werther because it also has Fuse, and sometimes I can fuse it off Brain in a Jar for 1 mana and destroy an artifact and an enchantment, and then Pithing Needle is another card against Tron. Okay, you have seen the white cards in the sideboard, and this is the reason for those lands. I have Tendo Ice Bridges, Glimmer Voids, and Reflecting Pools that add any color of mana. And what you really want to do is you want to play as little as possible the first 2 turns. Don't play your 0 mana creatures on turn 1 and 2 unless you have a way to cast Brain in a Jar off a Springleaf Drum. Sometimes it's useful, and sometimes you just need 1 more artifact to have Metalcraft for the Mox Opal. Then it's okay to play a 0 mana creature on your turn 1 or 2. But most of the time you want to keep it back. You want to play Serum Visions turn 1, you want to play Brain in a Jar turn 2, put a counter on it, and then turn 3 you want to go off by playing Kuldotha Rebirth, by playing the 0 mana creatures, and by fusing your Beck Call. Okay, I hope you got interested in watching a few matches with the deck. I recorded some. Hope you enjoyed, and see you soon.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. If you enjoy this content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/magicgatheringstrand.